I play Dr. Emilio Amigo, who is the owner of the Amigo Family Counseling Center in Columbus, Ohio. And it's his idea to use a spring formal as a teaching moment for these young men and women. And I have not met Dr. Emilio Amigo just yet. We have definitely emailed. We have a Zoom date on the books. And I can't wait to get that relationship started.
I play Terry, who is the mother of Jessica, nicknamed Terror Bear, and I love Terry because her approach to parenthood is more of a friend relationship that she has with her daughter, and that's something that I definitely can relate to between mine and my mother's relationship as well. But I love Terry's warmth. I love Terry's ability to support her daughter in a way that feels like she's talking to a friend. Yeah.
And I play the character Johanna, and Johanna is the mother to Caroline. And it's a very interesting kind of relationship, whereas I still see her, and I'm probably infusing parts of myself. Like I can be a little bit of a mother bear, right? And so I'm very protective of her, and she's so. Amelia plays Caroline, and Amelia is really just so beautiful and so wonderful and so smart, and everything that she brings to Caroline is so effective. I love the relationship that we've developed and that we are still developing on and off stage.
I played Meredith, and she and I are very much like, we love to research things, we love to learn new little facts. We use facts to like cope with like stressful situations that we're in. I relate to her in a lot of different ways, and I think a lot of people in the audience will relate to her too.
Talk about who you play and what you love about him.
I play Drew, and I think something that I love a lot about Drew is our brains are very kind of wired similarly in the fact that he thinks in lists and patterns and like steps in order to achieve things. And before I enter most conversations, I'm like, okay, this is how this is going to go. This is how I'm going to navigate my way through this. And I think that is very similar in me and Drew both have a very similar way of like thinking about situations like that. I also really like the way that Drew develops romantic feelings throughout the story, and like tracking his arc for his feelings for Meredith is very exciting, and it's very similar to how I have developed crushes on people in the past, and just the way it grows and ebbs and flows throughout all of that. So I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to him and just the way his brain kind of operates and how that is shown on stage.
Oh my gosh, so I play Remy in the show. My character is like an avid cosplayer, artist, fashion designer, and obviously I love all of those things. But I'm actually a digital artist myself, and I do a lot of fashion design. I do a lot of character design, stuff like that. So it's really nice to be able to connect to my character in such a way, and my character being an artist, yeah.
Yeah. And I play Tommy, who is who's basically a comic book person and a sci-fi fantasy person, but he's also a funny guy. And I am also a few of those things. But there is one difference. He wants to be a licensed driver. I do not. I'm a city guy. I'm good with the subways. But Tommy's a really fun person to play, and I don't know, I like to hang out with him one day.
I play Ashley Amigo. She is the daughter of Dr. Amigo, the head clinician at the Amigo Family Counseling Center. I love her. I think she is so kind and charismatic and full of a quiet strength. I relate to her doubt, her fear, her anxiety, but also this responsibility that she feels for her family and the people who love her. Responsibility to them, but also responsibility to be true to herself. And so her journey of finding that and being true to that.
I play Mel, who's one of the 7 autistic principals, and what I really relate to is their desire for independence. They're the only one that we see in the workforce navigating that, and as someone who, I've worked all of my day jobs until this point, I've had similar experiences as them, and I really connect to their fight and their drive, and just they're also like really like love of life.
I play Caroline, and I met her in person, which is so magical. She went to Jessica, her character too, also went to the opening in Syracuse, and then just meeting. They're honestly we're like fangirling over them. They're so sweet. My character is the sweetest, most bubbly person ever, and I just get to honestly heal my inner child whenever I get to play her on stage. It's just such an honor. And then this character also shaped not just mine. I think all 7 of our characters kind of form into like ourselves as well. There's so much like us in those characters too, but we also honor the spirit, like the people who inspired these characters, and it's very magical. It's so it's such a like matrix moment to meet your like the character you're playing in real life, and they tell you that they love the show, and then and you get to text them. It's so cool.
You get to text them. You know, yeah, it was a truly beautiful experience getting to meet Caroline and Jessica. And what I always have told people was I didn't watch the documentary until after I got the part because I didn't want any like imitations to creep into my brain and affect my audition. But I remember watching the real Jessica on the documentary and feeling really moved because I felt like I was watching an iteration of myself that was a lot more vulnerable than I had ever dared to be in a public forum. And I just immediately felt a connection with her and just so much respect for her. And a deep sense of responsibility, right? To do justice to who these people are and who their stories are, and to bring ourselves into it as well. And I think the thing I was the most nervous about was performing the show for the people who it was based on. And you know, they responded so enthusiastically, and it was just so wonderful meeting them and getting to share this with them and getting their insight and their feedback. And I mean, nothing can prepare you for that. It's like theater school doesn't prepare you for that. That's
One day you're gonna meet your character. You're gonna act normal.